welcome to Talks with Dorks, your go-to geek podcast. And you know what? It feels good to say that because it's the first time I've been able to say that in quite a while and do it from right here at home. Yeah, all right, okay. This isn't my normal office because my office is getting decorated and turned into a bedroom for my little boy. So I'm currently in the front room, so you get to see my TV in the background. And obviously, some great stuff on there, other than the fact 50% of that screen you can see I'm not too happy with, but we'll address that very, very shortly because this is the first episode I've been on properly for a while. I did one with Kev and Will. I did one with Damo, which was a geek podcast. But obviously the boys, the other members of the TDW board, have been covering things while I've been away. So that's like the only time I can say something good about it. But this is a podcast that is about geek pop culture, and also we do our TDW stuff on here. But this is where things are going to change going forward because obviously we're doing too much by blending the two, TDW and Talks with Dorks, all under one podcast when we're doing the stuff that is getting involved with the TDW roster and who's going to be facing who. It becomes a bit of a mess sometimes. So going forward, anything to do with wrestlers, seeing wrestlers that they're going to be facing later down the line, TDW shows, or people setting stuff up, but anything to do with TDW like that, will be seen on the TDW YouTube page. We're going to upload podcast episodes when we're setting up our stories that we will tell at our next wrestling event, which will be October 17th at Basildon Sport and Leisure Club. Right here, this is where the Talks with Dorks podcast will be, the Geek podcast. We will also talk, we'll tell you stuff that's going on with TDW. We'll also keep you up to date with dates and everything like that. But this is where we're going to be doing the main podcast. And why am I rambling on about this? Because I'm not alone tonight. And obviously, those of you that are heavily involved with the TDW side of things, come to all of our shows, will understand that this is a very awkward episode. I don't know. Is the way to put it, because I haven't done an episode. I haven't spoken to directly or been in touch or in contact with Kurt or Laferde since what happened, this is something we're probably going to debate in a second, turned their backs on me and decided to have my moment taken away from me, my back broken, and my belt taken away from me in front of my family and friends. We'll address that in a second because, yeah, I'm not alone. I'm here with one of those two. And it's probably better that it's not two because, strength in numbers and all that. And this is a conversation I've been, I don't know about looking forward to. It's a conversation I've been thinking about ever since my back hit that mat and broke. Kurt, you're here.
Hello, Ryan.
Very polite way of putting it, but okay. So as you can see,
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. It's a good thing. It's a good thing you don't have. I was going to say my better half, but if anything, my less better half with us today. I would like to say, good to have you back.
Really, puns? I mean, I wouldn't start with the puns now because I'm keeping my composure because this is a business and we do have a lot of geek news and stuff to talk about, including a film that came out last week, Spider-Man Brand New Day. But there is an elephant in the room because we are seeing each other for the first time. And I've listened to the episodes where you spoke about me, and I'm pretty sure you would have listened to my episode. And there's some questions. I have a lot of questions because, again, I mean, I see that you're trying to say that all your little reasons about my ego, etc., go on this, but to me, my brothers, the guys that I made this beautiful business with, this thing we could bring to the people of Essex, to the people of the of the internet crowd, decided I wasn't good enough to have stand right next to him, take away my moment. So go for it.
I mean, you say little reasons, mate. Your ego has never been little in any sense of the word. That's the issue. And I for the last month or so at this point, I've had to deal with a lot of, and I saw it coming a mile off. I mean, people are always going to see me as this moustache twirling villain, and yeah, maybe I am. Maybe that's the role I've made for myself now. But
I mean, I argue the fact that you probably can't grow a proper moustache because that thing looks fucking terrible, if I'm honest. Carry on.
more hair on my chin than there is on your head.
How's the hat looking? Carry on.
Covers a fair bit, actually. I can lend you some if you ever need. I'm getting my hair cut at the weekend. But look, I've said it my own way, and there's people who are going to decide that they are and forever will be Team Ryan. There's people who will never understand why. And let's not pretend that conversations didn't happen behind the scenes when we were planning these shows. Let's not pretend that we didn't talk about whether it was the right thing for you to be as involved in the actual wrestling side of things. As the owner of the company and as the chairman, let's not pretend that there wasn't conversations where me and Laferde, and not just me and Laferde, the likes of Tony, the likes of Ash, the likes of Damo, who's not even involved in the wrestling side of things. Let's not pretend that we did not, at the very least, in their cases, say, are you sure about this? Let's not pretend this came out of the blue.
And you can call it ego all you want, but you're putting me in a category of some of the greats around this country. I can name a few. Like, yes, when the opportunity was put in front of me, again, an opportunity I wasn't involved in, I was not a part of. It was an opportunity to be the first ever TDW men's champion. That Laferde, and now I don't know if that was a plan, but I don't know if the whole thing, I'm questioning everything that's happened in this company since it started because of my trust for you has gone. But I don't know if that was a thing. You guys put me in that situation, and your argument was something along the lines of, we wanted to see how you handled it. You know, on paper, I should never have won that. I was left in there with, hang on, let me think of the three people who I was in that ring with. RJ Singh, a British legend. Mordecai Shaw, a fucking monster. Sullivan King, a world champion. And I was the last man standing by pure luck.
Glad you called it what it was.
Of course it was fucking luck. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. I'd owned it a week before. I just started going training because I'd said, and I told you this, I will wrestle at Slam by me. I didn't know who I was going to wrestle, and I've said this before. Potentially in my head, it was Johnny Royal. If he kept his job at Danger Zone, I was thinking maybe Johnny Royal could be the one, because me and Johnny have a history of, I was the first show he ever went to when he was a kid. There was different reasons, but then an opportunity to go for the world title. I'm 40 years old, and I turned 40 before Slam by me. We've all heard this story. You ask anybody who has been in this business, you have no fucking right to tell me about my ego when it comes down to the fact you've never laced up a pair of boots, when you stepped in front of a crowd that are chanting your name, a crowd that want you to be there. You've never done that. You don't understand. When the opportunity is there, of course I'm going to take it. I am a wrestler. I am a fighter deep down in this heart of mine. And I needed to put those boots on, and I needed to prove it to myself. I didn't think I was going to win. But again, luck happened. Brian Matthews, who one thing we'll agree on, is one of the best wrestlers in the UK, let alone the whole circuit around the world, and will be a huge star and is on the rise to be a huge star. Ryan did what he was told not to do by me. He underestimated me. He thought he was going in there with a 40-year-old shell of a man that he'd seen at Danger Zone. He didn't. So, of course, the ego's there. But I'm going to put this again. You look at the companies around us, the other wrestling companies around us, every single one of them, who are great companies. I'll name, let me think, DKW, Dropkicks. The guy who runs it, Lucas, wrestles for his own company because he is a wrestler and he understands the fortune. And yes, okay, he probably isn't putting himself in the world title picture. I didn't. You did. Remember that. Second of all, you've got Ollie over at WrestleForce. Ollie lives and breathes this business. This is his entire life. And he would do anything for this business. He's there. Again, he probably maybe he's been in the top world title picture of his own company. Maybe he has before. I don't know. But at the same time, you put me in that position. Laferde did. I'll refer it back to that. Paul, the man who brings us our ring. Paul at SOS. Paul was one of the greatest wrestlers of the UK. When I started, Paul was everywhere. And I'm sure Paul, who is retired now, if he had the opportunity to step back in the ring, he would go again. Because that's what we do. You've seen it yourself. You've been a wrestling fan your entire life. You've seen Ric Flair. Ric Flair doesn't give up. Ric Flair's nearly 100 and he would still lace up if someone paid him.
And many would argue shouldn't.
But he's going to. There's at least one more Ric Flair retirement match happening. But you're saying about an ego. There isn't one wrestler out. Sky Smithson at Cobra. Does she wrestle at KWA as well as run the shows and train the guys? Because she's a fighter. It's okay. Yes, maybe there was a part that said I should have handed over the reins and said, no, this isn't for me. But I still fucking won that Rumble. And I still had one chance. I didn't go in there thinking I was going to win, but I did. And I deserved to enjoy that moment. And you all just thought, I don't know, let's take it away from him. Not one of you took 1 ounce of care for my stepson that was there to watch that, who was there to try and save me from Ryan Matthews at one point. He was the bravest kid in that entire place, and bravest person in that entire place. Also sat there and watched what you guys did to me. And you're telling me I've got an ego. You don't see a problem in anything you've done.
Firstly, I didn't have a problem with you wrestling. If you think this was some master plan from the very beginning, you called me out on your episode of the podcast where you addressed this, and you said, I seem to remember you being the one to egg me on to accept that open challenge from RJ. And do you know what I did? And do you know why? Because at Never Say Die, as far as we knew at that point, it was a one-off. TDW wasn't a thing. We didn't know TDW was going to be a thing at that point. As far as we were concerned, Never Say Die, that open challenge with RJ, when he decides he's going to throw it out to you, it's a one-off. I wanted to give you that chance to say you wrestled in front of your boy, and wouldn't it be cool to say, hey, if Super Relic gets one point, wouldn't it be cool to say if Super Relic had only one more in him, that he got to wrestle, maybe even win the PWE Championship off of RJ Singh? But what a moment that would be. How cool would that be? Yeah, as far as we're concerned, Never Say Die is a one-off. TDW becomes a thing. When you said you wanted to wrestle at Slam by me, I never had an issue with you wrestling. All those names that you rattled off, they wrestle for their own promotion. They don't put themselves in the title picture. They absolutely don't. And yeah, we dangled the carrot and you took it. And you keep on talking about how could you not let me have this moment? If a moment was all it was going to be, and yeah, we'd planned. I had the contract behind the desk ready because I had my contingency in place. But there is one thing that I will repeat that I said before. Right up until one single line that you uttered, there was a chance that none of this happened. Parky would have stayed in his car, would have stayed fired. If he'd got involved, we wouldn't have reinstated him. There was one line that you said, for all this talk about giving me this moment, the words you used was, I'm going to be a fighting champion. Fuck off, were you after one moment?
Fine. Because when did I say that? In the moment that I felt better than I'd felt in a long time standing in a ring. you'd seen I'd worked my arse off to be and show that I needed to be in that match and I deserved to be in that match. And yes, by that point, whose ego wouldn't take over? I was 2 hours, less than 2 hours away from either being a champion or not being a champion. If I wasn't in that frame of mind, what was the point of me doing the match? I had everybody there chanting my name. I could feel their energy. Just the way Ryan come at me, he knew then. I think even then, before we even got to the match, he knew he was underestimating me. He looked like he was unsure of what he was about to go through, and that is the moment I felt the best of. Who wouldn't? You telling me in that moment? You telling me you had that belt? How many times did you put that belt over your shoulder and pretend you were a champion? Tell me you didn't.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Here's the thing. I always knew when it was time to give the thing back. I always knew that was not my belt to own.
And
you
so
say
did
I've never
I.
laced up a pair of boots. You say I've never laced up a pair of boots. You're right. Do you know why? I know my fucking role.
Oh, do you? Yeah, you're going to learn your role when we see each other next because all of this confidence, all this cockiness is a different story. And again, broken back guy will see you and will be able to be within arm's reach of you.
I'm sorry, you're saying will or wheel?
Just remember, big wheels keep on turning. And I've got the biggest wheel you'll ever know. Trust me. It's the biggest one.
They
Now,
make those wheelchairs sturdy nowadays, do they?
well, you'll find out. Again, you're talking about ego to me. Who is this guy? This ain't the guy I wanted to be part of this with. The guy that I considered my brother, someone that I saw was very much like me. This is ego, Kurt. This is ego. Again,
Very much like you. I remember your last match before you retired the first time round, and you want to wonder where the dark side might have come from. I remember your last match before, the dad came out wanting to perform in front of his boys and have that really nice moment. Your last match, you, my friend, you say whatever you like about me, you were the moustache twirling villain. Do not pretend that this is a side of me that never existed, because I know that side exists in you too.
of course it does, and I don't shy away from that fact. Again, wrestler, fighter, that was a point of my life. It was 2018, the year that everything went for me. The year before, I was 31 years old. I was working a minimum wage job, and that's no disrespect to anybody that does it. I was 31 years old. I had no partner, no kids, no career. I just spent 10 years working abroad. I tried being a wrestler, that didn't work out. And then I took an opportunity to become a DJ, and it worked. I became a full-time DJ. I set out a goal in that year to do 3 of my dream things and a bonus. The 3 things were meet a Superman. I met Tom Welling at Comic-Con that year. Go back to Zante because I'd not been there in 8 years. Went back to Zante with my friends and saw my Greek family out there. Great time. Went to America for the first time. Anyone that's never heard this podcast before, I talk about it on most episodes. You can hear all the stories. Went to America, and then the other thing was step back in the ring. And I did have an attitude. I was cocky because I'd gone from nothing, and then everything was thrown at me. I'd gone from earning nothing to all of a sudden, I'm a guy that's earning a grand a week. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a guy that's now driving. He's got a car. He's cocky. So I became a prick. I helped mentor a kid that I knew I could kick his ass. Why? Because I had an attitude and an ego. What happened 2 weeks after that match? I was ready to go through him again. He retired because of me. First part of guilt. I then met my partner. I became a stepdad. Then I became a dad. Then lockdown happened, and every bit of that good life was taken away apart from my family. And that's where I learned true values. Family above all else. So when TDW became a thing, when Never Say Die, even from the moment the idea of me and RJ first came up, of course I wanted to do it. Because I told you, my kids had never seen it. And I wanted them to see that. When it comes to being a world champion, when you're a dad, and there's an opportunity like that, when you've got a kid like Jacob, who you've seen yourself in a year and a half has become the biggest brain in wrestling, is as much a part of this business as all of us. He's an important cog in this wheel. You've got a kid like that. You've got my own child, Ronnie, with his additional needs, and you could do something to show them proud that my little boy can say, Super Relic is my daddy. It ain't an ego, Kurt. It's pride. Because coming home with that belt for my kids was something that I dreamt of, and I did everything for those 4 months. I did everything, thinking, what if? And I did it. And my friends thought, fuck your family, fuck everything you now worked for. Here's your belt. It's going to the guy 24 hours or 48 hours before I was playing Call of Duty with. Guy who I considered, I've always said I loved until he was involved in this, and I still do now. Fuck Barkey, him and his little cronies over there on his little parky side. Glasses have come off, he's feeling tough. Again, you don't want me to. The idea of this is you don't want me to wrestle, and don't want me to have this ego, and don't want whatever. Okay, because now my back is broken. You've started something because you took everything from me. Everything I'd worked for, you then took it all from me. Lockdown did that to me before, and I came back bigger, stronger than ever, and made me into who I am today for them upstairs. So sit there with your smug look on your face. Put a line under this very soon, because we've got a whole podcast of geek shit to talk about. Have it say, tell me, this is an ego thing now, or is it not just proving that I'm a dad? Dad don't DJ. Dad comes first.
I don't think I'm going to be able to convince you otherwise, but I will say, okay, let's talk about that, Dad. Let's talk about that fuck your family line. I've got nothing against your family, Rye. In fact, I'd argue, at Slam by me, I looked out for your boy more than you did. You brought him to the ring and had him within spitting distance of a dangerous person in the form of Ryan. He got in the ring and, saved you from that belt shot. What if Ryan was feeling different? What if Ryan had been willing to follow through on that belt shot? Would you have been able to live with yourself if you brought Jacob down to the ring and Ryan hurt him? Do you know the first thing I said after hitting you with that same belt? I told Max to get Jacob and get him out the ring. I looked out for your boy more than you did that night.
You looked up to my boy. No. What that proved is when Ryan went for that belt, where the fuck was you? You were stood over in your little corner, pressing play on your music. It didn't stop him trying to get that, did you? You weren't trying to make it a fair fight. You let that happen. Turns out I now know why. Jacob came to check on his stepdad and stood up to Ryan. Do you think anything was going to happen to him? I was there. The second as I stood up, I moved him out of the way and told Ryan to come at me. And what happened? That's where the downfall happened. He underestimated who he was fighting. And you and the other four-eyed prick that can't see for fucking 2 inches in front of his face, because they ain't going to see what's coming, you started something. And cool, that's fine. This will continue, and we will come back to all of this down the line, because at the end of the day, you're still new to this shit, and I've been saying it all along. You may have your little team. You don't know which. I mean, you might have seen Kev or Will there. Yeah, you don't know where my phone calls will be going. I may not be there for October to wrestle, but I am putting it here now. I will be there because I am still the boss. Remember, the second I wasn't a champion, what did that clause say in that contract? The minute I'm not a champion, or if I'm a champion, I am not a board member. The minute I'm not, all power reverts back to me. It's back. I'll be there October 17th. I'll be there with my back brace and crutches. I probably will not be able to wrestle, maybe ever again. But I won't be alone. I promise you that. So bring your other mate. Bring your Scottish drunk. And I would honestly tell you this bit of advice. Tell that stupid fucking idiot. Maybe lay off the drink that day. Because it won't go well for him.
having you back on the board, having you away from that ring. You say this like it's a threat. That was the plan, mate. Welcome back.
There's a difference. I'm not the guy that was running it before. I'm the guy who won the title, had it taken from me, and had his back broken, and is now back in charge. I mean, I'm not saying I want that title back myself, but that champion of yours ain't gonna have it for very long. That's where my priority is, to make sure what you've created is gone, and you will be begging me for forgiveness. That's what I'm going to say. Draw a line under it. Do you fancy a geek out, Kurt? Should we draw a line under it? Because I swear to God right now, part of me wants to get in my car, put the crutches of my back brace into the car and drive to your house, because I do have your address. Walk through there, take that Mandalorian helmet and shove it up your ass.
How are you with stairs at the moment, mate?
I'm alright as long as I don't run up them.
I'll leave the door unlocked.
Yeah, cool. You're a brave prick. We'll stop this here. Listen to our sponsors. When we come back, that's the wrestling TDW side of things done. We're going to talk some Brand New Day and maybe some Summerslam.
Do you like trees? Do you like cards? Do you like frogs? What about all three together? Because Ryan has got the place for you. Tell him, Ryan.
How is this you doing a promo for Tree Frog Grading, our partner that grades cards and then gives us a discount code? That was just you throwing it over to me.
Yeah, it's called delegation.
It's called you having this information in front of you for 2 years and never paying attention to it. That's what that is.
Yeah, is it on Braille on my screen? No, it's not.
Good point. Tree Frog Grading is a partner we've had for 2 years now, and you can still get your cards graded and use the code TWD15 for 15% off. That's treefroggrading.com. And don't forget, if they've got any other promotion running on the website, you can add our code on top of that to save yourself even more money. Laferde, it's as easy as that. Get your cards graded. Get your cards graded at a discounted price with the code TWD15, treefroggrading.com.
Ribbit.
Laferde, this is how you do a promo. You ready?
Well, when's someone going to turn up to show me how to do it?
Wow. I'll show you how to do it. Our friend JC has got his very own clothing range. It's called Graffiti WASHED. Laferde, you remember JC, don't you, when he came on the podcast?
I do, because we got a few messages and I thought, who is this guy?
Yeah, well, JC came on the podcast and he told us all about his clothing range, Graffiti WASHED. And with us, you can get 30% off by using the code TalksWithDorks30. Go check out his clothing range. It's fun, it's funky. Some people call it controversial. As long as you're talking about it, as long as you're buying it, and as long as you're wearing it. Graffiti WASHED, Talks with Dorks 30 for 30% off. See? Easy as that, mate.
Speaking of controversial, it means you might be able to get some of your own clothes instead of wearing everyone else's.
Fair point. You've watched back any of our TDW shows recently?
Watched them back. I've done nothing but. I'm the guy editing all of them.
No, where would we find it? YouTube or...
Oh, again, mate, like, you're part of this podcast. How do you not know that we have a Patreon page? You've got content on there that you made.
Yeah, but I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't see what I was doing.
It always goes back to the site. Kurt, you're quite good with this. Why don't you give Laferde the little rundown on how, where, and what is available on offer for him to get our Patreon page?
Kurt, do it in your announcer voice.
It is easy to find, even if you're visually challenged. And yes, I will do it in the announcer voice.
Get in.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that Talks with Dorks has its own Patreon page where you can find exclusive content recorded by our very own man who doesn't have a single clue what he's doing, the one and only Laferde. You can also see all of TDW's full wrestling events in all of their glory as they happen live, with exclusive match commentary and behind the scenes and backstage interviews as well, plus a whole heap more besides that. It's all available on the Talks with Dorks Patreon, patreon.com/TalkDorkPodcast.
See, Laferde, if you could, like, you've been around for 2 years and you still can't make an effort like that at all.
Well, if I was a goose, I'd have bumps right now. Just hearing Kurt with that announcer voice is just worth pissing you off every week.
Really? And did you know, Laferde, that you don't even have to pay for the first month? We have got a link that will be down below that you can get the first month free.
It means at the bottom of the video, not Australia.
What did I say?
Down below.
That's down under.
Not up here, it's not.
Fair enough.
Please subscribe. We need the money.
Find us at patreon.com/TalkDorkPodcast. 1 month free if you click the link below.
Things were getting heated then, so let's get that again. I'm a businessman. This is Talks with Dorks, your go-to geek podcast. And now we're going to dive into some geeky shit because as much as I don't like you, there's one thing I will say. One thing I will say is we're still nerds, deep at heart. And Spider-Man came out last week, and I can safely say this. Obviously, I did my usual thing. I got to see it a day early, which I'm glad, by the way, because by the time I got home, I'd seen half the movie on TikTok. Day before it came out.
I hate you for many reasons. One of which is the fact that you always get the early access to stuff. Like, you might moan about getting it spoiled on TikTok, but at least you didn't have to deal with 4 days worth of being on media blackout like I did.
Couldn't. And I think that's one of the reasons I am very fortunate. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do media blackout. I mean, Brad did say, like, because when I got home, Brad was like, "How good was it?" I was like, "It was amazing." It was like, "But I've just seen the post-credit scene on TikTok. Avoid it." He was like, "To be fair, I've not seen anything." I was like, "It shows how much your phone listens to you." Like, my phone must have known I'd seen the film because it wanted to show me everything. I mean, like, literally, I saw the post-credit scene at least 3 times that night when I got home. The next morning I woke up and I saw the end fight with the hand and all that online. And then that night, like, it was like, watch part 1 of the entire Brand New Day. And it was literally an hour and 10 minutes of Brand New Day. I was like, right.
So, yeah, let's talk about Brand New Day. I mean, let's go right now. If you've not seen the film yet, heavy spoilers. Like, we're not going to do a spoiler-free version. We got me and Laferde did a spoiler-free review when he saw it for last week's episode of the pod. Yeah, we're spoiling every part of this at this point because I need to talk to someone about it, even if it's this dickhead. But
well, but the one thing I've been going on about, Rick, is the tone. That's the thing that stood out so much to me was how the tone. I mean, I'm right in thinking this is still directed by the same man, the same guy who done the first 3, right?
pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is without having to Google and everything, but I'm sure it's directed by the same. And the tonal shift in so many senses was so good. Like, it felt like the film itself felt darker in a sense.
Yeah.
Like the
But
universe felt darker.
if you ask me, the perfect balance of dark and humour for a Spider-Man movie. And off the back of this film, I'm actually going to say something. So I've been on record multiple times whenever we've talked Spider-Man of saying, for me, Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. Not the best Peter Parker, mind. I think he's too cool for Peter Parker. But I've always said Andrew Garfield was my favourite Spider-Man. And maybe Toby was my favourite Peter Parker. And Tom Holland was a good middle ground between the two, but wasn't the best of either. Off the back of this film, and the combo of, I think, Tom's definitely leveled up, and also this very much being the most comic accurate Spider-Man in terms of just general time in his life that he's at. So we got rid of a lot of the high-level sci-fi elements where Spider-Man got thrown straight into mainline MCU. It's grounded, it's New York, it's him living in a crappy apartment on his own. But also the tone of the movie and the way that Tom plays Spider-Man. I'm going to say it right now. Tom Holland, for me now, is the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Do you know what? And I think it, like with the suit being an homage to all 3 of their suits as such, but you can see like the webbing on it is Toby's, the spider is Andrew's. Like, I think he has benefited the most in a sense because he got to work with both.
Yeah.
That
He
is
has
the most fortunate.
he has pulled elements from both. Like, the tone of the film is very much brilliant, but like Tom, you can see where he's learned from those two as well. And like, it is, if I'd never seen a Spider-Man movie before, and I was going from, you know, the Spidey that I've seen in like the 90s animated series that I grew up with, and, you know, the comics that I read and the games that I played, if I was going to translate him into a movie, I would get this film.
Yeah, this, like I said, I like it. as much as the film itself is great, all I've been going on about since I've talked to anybody about it, or anybody again, because I've seen it. What's it like? I go on about the tone. Like there's even the ending, like the credits came up, and it's before it's been like a school scrap paper, was it? Like a school. This
Yeah.
This feels like an adult film. This like
Yeah.
there's a scene where he's sitting. I think it's either, I can't remember. It's earlier in the film. It's either at his desk or it's when he sees Yelena. Spoilers again. Yelena. Where you see
As far as spoilers go, this is a very small potato spoiler.
yeah. You see his shoulders, and I sat there and I leant forward and I was like, "Fucking hell, little Tom's fucking hench." Like, listen to that's going on.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is an adult movie. I mean, like they cover a pretty significant time jump in the first 15 minutes. Like, it pretty much starts level with the exact moment that we left off with in No Way Home, when he walks into the coffee shop and decides against giving MJ the note. And then within the first 15 minutes, you basically walk through the whole 3 or 4 years that they're at MIT for, and then this movie essentially picks up proper from them moving back to New York as now like early 20-somethings, having an apartment in New York again and picking up from there. So this is adult Spider-Man. We've jumped from high school Spider-Man straight to adult Spider-Man. We covered the college years in a montage.
And that, again, I've seen a couple of people say they didn't really like that because, like, there's that scene, the clip we've seen from the hand, like with the hand, that whole bit where he.
So much of the trailer is in the montage.
But the hand bit where everybody's going, "There's another Spider-Man in that. There's."
No.
It was literally just that image, and I think that I'm telling you, if they didn't do that on purpose, like I guarantee they all sat around there. Listen, what we're gonna do? He's gonna fight the hand, right? And we're gonna put it in the trailer, in every trailer, right?
It's like 90%. We're not even exaggerating. 90% of what you see in the trailer is in the first montage you see of that like 4-year period. And literally, I sat there and out loud I said the word "Marvel, you dicks." I had to applaud it. Because then the whole rest of the film's wide open. Like, I had no idea what to expect, and there's a lot in this film to unpack.
Again, it was so good because not many people were talking about in the trailer where Scorpion says, "You think I'm Scorpion?" I didn't see nobody talking about that, but it was all in my brain, and I'm like, that is clear. That was the biggest giveaway about Sadie Sings.
Okay, so.
Until the sound guy, whoever it was, did that interview and told everybody 2 days before the film came out.
So, and this is where we got to go back to the thing that we said we weren't going to talk about again. This is how I know you haven't watched the episodes of the podcast with me and Laferde. We did our own theory of what that line was. It was the one with me and Damo. We were unpacking the trailer. And yeah, with that line of, "Oh, you think I'm Scorpion," we started theorising that like Scorpion was the name of like a secret organisation, like James Bond's Spectre sort of stuff. We didn't even think about like the whole, let's just say what it is now. We didn't even think about the whole Jean Grey in the equation.
So yeah, that was my thing. I had, to be fair, because of obvious reasons, I got bored of seeing you, Kurt, and Laferde. You and Laferde, sorry. And then, yeah, so I haven't been watching your episodes. I'm a little bit behind on this podcast because of the people that I've been doing the episodes, like, so there's so much I can hear your voices for, but it clicked to me because I saw that Scorpion thing, and I'm like, that's weird. But then obviously because everybody was like she's Jean Grey, she's definitely Jean Grey.
For me, I didn't clock it at all, like until the reveal, and I went, "Oh, that's good." Like I did not even remotely suspect.
You didn't know, so you'd not seen them rumours.
I had a genuine revelation watching it. Like I'd somehow theories around that or any spoilers around that I'd somehow avoided, and I hadn't put 2 and 2 together because I hadn't even seen her hair colour until about 30 seconds before it reveals her name's Jean. Because she's got the hood up for 99% of what you see of her early. But they reveal her very slow pace. Like you don't even see her full stop. Then you only hear her voice. Then you see her with the hood up and the face blacked out. Then you can see her face but the hood still up. Then you finally see that she's red-headed, and about 30 seconds after that, you find out her name's Jean Grey. I had a genuine revelation moment in the cinema, but so I was really cool that I managed to avoid all those spoilers.
Wait, you have seen Stranger Things, right? So you know she's ginger.
Yeah, but like Doesn't mean that she was playing a ginger in the film.
Part of me was actually starting to think like maybe they're doing a double one, and this is he's going to part ways with MJ, but he's going to meet Mary Jane.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that they brought Jean Grey in, because obviously with Doomsday they're bringing a lot of the both OG and First Class era X-Men in, and I think the only person I think they've recast for definite is Mystique, because it's not Jennifer Lawrence.
No, it's the girl who made her originally.
Is it Rebecca Romijn?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I mean, all the X-Men they're bringing in, it's like the OG casts. Like, again, either OGs or First Class era, but they're bringing the established people in. So when they've recast Jean Grey and it's not either of the people who've been Jean Grey before, that surprised me a little bit. That's why I just wasn't suspecting it.
So I think this is good, like this. The idea of this is to kind of give us a brief inkling of the after of Secret Wars, because I think there's going to be elements that will be kept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Tom Holland will continue, definitely, because he's
100%.
definitely two more. Like, there's no Spider-Man films in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and there's two more.
This is the last Marvel film before Doomsday, isn't it?
And then it's Secret Wars, right? There's nothing in between. It's Doomsday.
Not that I'm aware of.
Wars. Yeah,
Might be some TV or Disney Plus related stuff. No,
where the fuck's Vision Quest?
that's what I was thinking. I think that's coming out before Secret War.
The panel, I watched the entire Marvel panel, and I'm sure they said it's Doomsday and Secret Wars. We wanted to keep the slate clean. We didn't want to give you anything. It's between, because of basically whatever happens at the end of Doomsday, Battle World. So they're giving it an inkling, and I genuinely think what we're going to see is she's going to be the Jean Grey, and there are mutants already, but the work, like, maybe not as, like, it's obviously in the world of X-Men, mutants have been around for 100 years. There's not as many, but when the world resets, mutants will have been a thing.
Yeah,
And that's one of the big changes of the new universe. And I don't know whether they're going to do a new Iron Man, a new Cap, or what. But
I reckon they'll sit on it for a bit. I think they will eventually, but I reckon they won't rush to bring those guys back in. Like, they'll bring other superheroes in and try and make those the next big things. Because, like, we've got to remember, like, Iron Man was not that popular before Robert Downey Jr. Like, he wasn't.
Even Captain America was he was popular during the World War, like, when it set the World War, because of who he was. But Iron Man and Thor, like, again, all Hulk and Spider-Man were the fucking big ones, weren't they?
Yeah, it's Hulk, Spidey and Wolverine, I'd say.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Let me just sort my shorts out because I'm running up a bum.
That's going to be great for the people who just listen to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I reckon they will eventually give us a new Iron Man, but I think we're probably still looking at maybe a solid 10 years before they do.
Yeah, you've got to let it simmer and reset. And going back to obviously Brand New Day, I think, like, everyone's like, oh, Ned's going to be Hobgoblin in this. I'm like, I think we saw the inklings, that the next stages of it, and this is like the MJ and Ned half of this, like, do they remember her saying what she said? So, again,
by the way, there's the joke around this, which so for those who've not seen the film, basically MJ eventually discovers the note while Spidey reintroduces himself to MJ, firstly by crashing a party and introducing himself under a fake name. Then he actually has to save her. This is the bit you see in the trailer where he says, "Your life's in danger, you got to trust me," and she just goes, "Okay," and believes him instantly. And then further down the line, without talking about anything that happens in between, he leaves her safe with Frank Castle's Punisher for a bit, and whilst he's away doing his thing while Frank's supposed to be looking after her, she discovers the note finally. Spidey comes back. MJ finally says, "When were you going to tell me?" But makes it very clear that, I like you. You seem like a great guy, but this person doesn't exist. I do not remember it. And the last thing you see before the credits is Peter Parker's buying some flowers in a corner store that we've seen a couple of times throughout the film, and he sees Ned, who he's already reintroduced himself to Ned as Spider-Man, but Ned doesn't know who Peter Parker is yet. And he introduces himself as Peter Parker. Ned properly says, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." Goes to shake his hand, and there's that pause. And then they both just instinctively do their secret handshake, and Ned immediately remembers, "Oh, Peter." And the running joke is like, MJ gets a full note and a massive explanation, can't remember a fucking thing. Ned, one handshake, and he's like, "Bro."
So this is where my theories, there's theories of like, it awoke him. There's theories that she called him Peter early on in the film. Now, did you know when him and Ned are nerding out, like making Lego, and she draws the picture?
Yep.
Do you know what she draws? His old costume.
Yeah.
She draws the previous costume. So
yeah,
there.
small spider emblem. Yeah.
Now, with Ned, I think Ned's always known. So, here's a question for you. What was the point of the shark fuel energy drink? That was such a big 3 or 4 minute part of that movie. What was the point of it?
I mean, it's introduced as like, he's cramming for his finals, and he goes, "Oh, I know so many of my friends got addicted to this drink, and please don't sell it to this guy." Like, I think part of the joke is that he's already addicted to it, and that's why he's saying, "Don't sell it to me."
So, come on, why was that such a big? Why was that a 3 or 4 minute thing that kept coming back? Here's another question to think about it. What colour was the shark fuel?
Oh, God, I was not paying attention to this bit. You're going to have to help me out.
Let me see if I can find it. Was it called Shark Tank?
Oh, it was shark something.
See if I can find it. No, I can't find it. Shark drink. Well, to me, there was definitely gold,
Mm.
and it looked like dark blue, hobgoblin colours.
Yes, gold, dark blue, and orange is hobgoblin. Then again, gold, dark blue, and red was Spidey's costume, the last that Ned would have seen him.
Right. So to me, the shark thing was something to do. I think there's something in that shark drink that he's addicted to that makes him end up finding something, coming up with something that will enhance him to become the hobgoblin. Also, reason being, that handshake awoke him. I think he's always known, because think about the TikTok thing in the film. Who's watching? Somebody's watching. I think again, Ned and MJ were not that fucking close before Peter was part.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, Peter's kind of the one that brings them together, but like, I don't know if, like, with the memory wipe, do they remember that they are friends but don't remember why?
So again, but why are they the best? Why are they living together and all that? I think
But again, that's the thing, is like, they remember everything that happened to them. They just don't remember Peter being there. So like, they remember becoming friends. They remember having those bonding moments when Spidey saved them, but they don't remember Peter. Like, I don't know if there's that part of them like, "Oh, I know we're friends," but don't remember what led to it in the first place.
Consistently putting the phone in front of her. She doesn't look like she wants to do it as often. He's doing it. Who's watching? I think this is going to lead to the fact he's always known. He's always known that who he was. And do you know what comes further back? Think of one of the times in No Way Home when you saw them do the handshake. Think of this one specific moment when they do the handshake, something happens.
It's the sparks from the ring, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, when he finds out that he's magic enough to control the sling ring.
He's magic. There's something more to Ned. There is definitely something.
Well,
more
they straight up acknowledge it, but they say, "I promise you, I'm not going to turn into a supervillain and try to." Me and you're going to have opposite opinions about this, because I genuinely think they're not going to turn Ned into the Hobgoblin. I think they're acknowledging, okay, in the comics he eventually turns into the Hobgoblin, so we're playing with this a little bit, but I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on it.
Come on, again, how, like you said, the whole letter thing, I don't know if you don't remember. And then she's sitting at the end, she's sitting on the rooftop that they used to sit on. So she knows more, but he literally goes, "Peter." I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, like
there's more to
on the
this.
yeah, but again, like the fact that he remembers that quickly, whereas she has all of that and then still doesn't remember. Then again, there's the old joke of that's how quickly guys make friends. Yeah, two guys can meet each other for the first time.
I don't think it's a sexist reason.
But honestly, two guys can meet each other within 30 seconds are like the best bros. Like that is how quickly we make friends.
Again, just like I said, if we can find this shark thing, if anyone can please find a picture of this shark drink, I want to tell you, look at it instantly. The first thing I said, I turned to Keith when I was sitting there. So here's the funny thing, right? I hope I've still got the list. When I said to Keith, I wrote a list. I said, I'm going to write a list and I'll show you afterwards of things that I think is going to happen in this film. First one, Sadie sinks is Jean Grey. Spider-Man becomes Man-Spider, 4 arms.
We got close. Like they really played with the whole Man-Spider arc, but didn't quite go full with it.
Mm-hmm. He dies and becomes Venom. Maybe post-credit.
Maybe not.
Ned Hobgoblin. Ned joins Sinister Six because you saw most of the Sinister Six in the montage, and I'd seen it in.
But by the way, can I say justice for Tombstone, please?
Which one's Tombstone?
In the montage, like literally, the Tombstone's holding him off the edge of a building.
Oh, blonde guy with the teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. Again, I never watched the animated series.
I think he calls him by his real name, Lonnie, in the montage. But like, yeah, Tombstone gets a 30-second cameo.
Again, there are 2 more Spider-Man films. I think, like I said, this is leading. He's going to get the Sinister Six, but it's showing they're already out there, so they don't have to establish them. So many characters. He's done this for 4 years. He's met a lot of these characters, so they can then drop them in. And I think we're going to get a Sinister Six with Ned joining and leading it. And I don't think the kid at the end is Miles Morales.
No,
the little kid.
I mean, to be fair, if he's Miles Morales, we've got a solid 10 years until we're going to see him, unless they do another time jump, because that kid's like 5.
Yeah, so I think Miles Morales. I personally think he's something to do with the guy in the first one. You know, the robber.
Maybe.
He mentions something about I've got a little brother or a little cousin.
Oh no, that is that's Uncle Aaron. That is Miles Morales' uncle in that. God, what's his last name? It's not Aaron Morales.
Aaron Lambo.
No. Davis. Aaron Davis. That's his name.
Aaron Lambo is, dear.
No, and I'm moving on from it. But yeah, go on.
No, I'm going to go on about Aaron Lambo. He's a content creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. But no, yeah, Aaron Davis, that's his name. See, no, it's who Donald Glover plays in the first film. Yeah. No, that is Aaron Davis. That is Miles Morales' uncle. That's confirmed. That's when he says, I've got a nephew, that he is referring to Miles Morales in that bit. But this kid that you see at the end of Brand New Day, 100% not.
So I know, obviously, I know Miles Morales he's part black, part
Hispanic. Yeah.
And Aaron.
So his
Aaron
so
was a black guy.
Yeah.
He's a black
so
guy.
So it's funny enough. So funny enough, Miles Morales, he takes his last name from his mum, Rio Morales. His dad is Jefferson Davis, who's a police officer, and his uncle Aaron Davis, is the Prowler. Who, if you've seen the animated Into the Spider-Verse movie, and if you haven't, dear God, man, go and see it. Like it's on Netflix now. But yeah, no, Aaron Davis is his uncle, and so his dad and uncle are black. His mum's Hispanic. That's Miles's heritage.
I mean, you could argue the kid at the end, he's fairly light skinned. He could be a combination of black and Hispanic. Look at the time frame. I don't see the age being a thing, so I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that kid cannot be older than 5. That kid can't be older than 5. If we count all the time, between Homecoming and now, it's more than 5 years. That cannot be that kid.
It was 4 years at the beginning of this film, Kurt.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Absolutely. So unless that kid got blipped, and even then, I don't think the times match up because there's like a year in between Homecoming and
he got blipped and come back an extra 5 years later. Well,
yeah, exactly. It can't be Miles. Like anyone who's theorising that this kid's Miles Morales, it can't be. But the time frames just don't match.
Speaking of the blip, I saw something the other day. I really think they need to do like a one shot of the blip of like the first, maybe about two parts. The first half is when people go, how people are dealing with it when they go. The second half is when they come back, and it would be an 18 because you'll be seeing like people that were on a plane. Just fall.
Well, that's something that's been said many times. Though it's been established that people who blips, they came back in the exact same position that they disappeared from. So yeah, if you were 30,000 feet in the sky,
you better hope fucking Iron Man's passing by.
yeah, like because you see, there's one cool thing in I think it's like, I can't remember if it's in the Black Widow movie or if it's in the Hawkeye TV series, but you see
Yelena.
You see Yelena's perspective of the blip, and it's literally like the room almost like changes around her because she disappeared and reappeared in the room that had been renovated.
I like Monica Rambeau's one as well. I thought that was pretty good. Obviously, she comes back like she goes when her mum's dying, comes back, her mum's been dead for 5 years. That trauma was like, I thought that was intense, and that's what I mean. They really should. Marvel, listen, right? This is a clip straight out of Marvel, and I just did the same thing on the telly. I went like that, and like, yeah, on the telly. What did you see it?
Do you know what's bad about this, by the way? I almost wore that exact same shirt for this recording.
What your hoodie?
No, in that one, I'm in my Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey.
Oh yeah.
I genuinely almost picked that shirt up to wear for this, and it would have been incredibly awkward if I was dressed in the exact same clothes.
I'm in my 5 t-shirt. I'm in a Keaton t-shirt. By the way, this reason I've got this t-shirt. I've had these before. This is extra large. Savvy, man. I Savvy. I have such a love-hate relationship with that website. They have always. I've got some great stuff off there. I've done some great deals. I've had like. I think Lord's Ed tell me I got one for 20 quid on there once and stuff. Like all great stuff, but also their fucking delivery. I paid because I was going Spider-Man. I ordered it on Friday, so I was like, the options are 3-day delivery or 24-hour. I was like, it ain't gonna get shit this weekend, but if I book it on Friday, Monday morning they'll come in, see that, it'll be shipped, and it'll arrive Tuesday. It arrived Wednesday, Kurt. For 24-hour fucking delivery, and I got the 2 to 3 option.
Do you want to talk about how long I've been waiting? Do you want to talk about how long I've been waiting for some certain bits of equipment that we need for our next wrestling show?
Okay, calm down. But they went. I emailed them complaining about it, and their point was pretty good. They were like, "We've refunded you the £2 delivery fee."
Brilliant.
But I was like, "Hang on, you had a discount on the delivery, like that ain't like well, I can't." Like I specifically ordered this for, so I bought this and a Spider-Man t-shirt. So now I had to go to then and spend 25 quid. I bought 2 for 20 quid, and I'm not gonna lie, the one I got from Zavi was actually, I prefer that one to the one I got from HMV that was 25 quid on its own. But I've now got 2 Spider-Man t-shirts and a new Keaton t-shirt. But I learned my lesson with Zavi, go to extra large, never get a large.
And what I love in particular is for this episode where we're talking almost exclusively about Spider-Man, you went for the Keaton.
I do, I'm all day, but I don't care.
You had a 2 in 3 choice of appropriate t-shirt, and you went for the one.
My ego, Kurt. I'm always Batman.
We're not talking about your ego anymore.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But where was we even at with Spider-Man? Because
okay, so we've got our theories around Ned remembering, obviously MJ finding out but not actually remembering, and like so we end this film where they're friends but no romantic connection at this point.
I'm gonna. So let's round it up. We can talk a bit about Summerslam before we completely wrap things up. The characters.
Yes.
We've established Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Tom Holland. Fucking amazing.
Best he's ever been.
He's grown. And if anything, it's made me appreciate how clumsy, how childlike he was in the first one.
Yeah.
Like
And do you know what?
Upset me.
I will say around this, I think they had to do this. Because, like, Tom Holland still looks younger than he is. Like, Tom Holland's pushing 30 soon, I think. Tom Holland does still look younger than he is, but he can't realistically, without doing some de-aging, play a teenager anymore. Like, he is visibly at least a 20-something at this point.
Oh yeah, but he's still, but also in his face looks 16. But
it's... Well, does he? Because they did some de-aging for a flashback. You see young Tom in the flashback where he's talking with Aunt May, and it does look different.
Yeah, I suppose he does. I mean, I remember I see a clip the other day when he. Did you know that he's? Have you ever seen his Spider-Man audition where he flips into the camera and all that?
Yeah.
Do you know where
he basically said it? He's talked about it in an interview as well. He's just like, right, I'm doing a backflip.
Well, no. So it wasn't actually him. It was the person whose house he was at that advised him to do it. Do you know who that was?
Go on.
John Bernthal, Punisher. They'd done a film just before he got the audition, and Tom was staying with him. Tom and John's kids are like slightly younger than Tom, so he was like hanging out with these kids a lot. He had the audition kind of for Spider-Man, and he did it. And John Bernthal said, like, dude, you do backflips and that. My kids are always making you do backflips. This is Spider-Man. Do a backflip. So he told him to do it. And guess who recorded John Bernthal's Punisher audition?
Are you going to say Tom?
Tom Holland, years later.
And of course they're in this film together now, and like I love the chemistry between Spidey and Frank.
You can see it, and that's what's really good. They've obviously had a great friendship. He's always kind of it worked because he's kind of like an uncle to him in life.
Yeah, and also like, can we also appreciate that these two end up having 2 films that they were in, both coming out at pretty much the same time? Because obviously the Odyssey as well, which we're not going to talk about the Odyssey today, but like they're in both of these films, and they both came out within like a week of each other. But yeah. Here's one thing that I did hear about that. Let's talk about John Bernthal as Frank Castle Punisher. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, they're Disney-fying the Punisher," and like, obviously it's a PG-13 film, so like he doesn't. They get away. They say quite a lot of shits for a PG-13 film, but obviously you only get one F-bomb at worst, and obviously Punisher's a lot more gritty and adult. But like, I don't think they really Disney-fy the Punisher. Like, this is exactly how the Punisher would interact with Spider-Man, and like. One thing they do show about this is they show that the Punisher is still human. And he says like, I'm not averse to having fun and bantering with someone, but like I'm just very scarred and jaded and something like. I actually think this is a more accurate portrayal of someone who, let's be honest, Frank Castle's one of his most defining traits is the man has depression.
Yeah,
like, this is very accurate. Like you're not a shell constantly and like just emotionless. Like, I can banter with you. Like, I can even have a laugh and you can bring out my fun side again. But like, it doesn't stop this raw thing from being there.
And I think that's what I think. One thing with this film, carrying on with the characters, they seem to get a lot of the characters more right than ever. Did I just go cross-eyed? Was it me?
I didn't notice.
I just looked at the screen and my eyes were inverted. Hulk.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that is the best Hulk I've seen in an MCU.
Oh yeah.
And for 5 minutes.
But it's all you need.
Hulk, no banner, only Hulk. Like I liked it when he said it in Thor Ragnarok. He was, but this was Hulk's gonna kick his ass.
Yeah, this is a Hulk that's been suppressed for years, and like he has come out more enraged than ever. But then, shows that the Hulk. Again, Tom Holland needs to be stopped because he said, "Oh, nobody remembers but one," and like I think the one is not even Banner remembering Peter. Like I think it's Hulk remembering Banner.
Okay, so here's the question: when did Hulk meet Peter?
Hulk never does, but again, Hulk's always inside, looking out through Banner's eyes.
But you think about it, he was gone. He was gone during Civil War. He came back in Infinity War, and Hulk didn't come out. And the next time we see him, he's Smart Hulk, and Peter was blipped.
Point.
He never met Hulk. So that couldn't be the one, really. When you realistically think about it, there is... No way. When would he admit it? Because by the time he came back, he was smart.
Yeah, you got a point. Actually, didn't think of that. But either way, yeah, it's still I think it's the best Hulk we've had in years. I quite liked Smart Hulk, admittedly. I thought it was an interesting way to do it, but I'm glad we get Savage Hulk back.
I think we're going to get Maestro. I think Maestro's coming. I really hope they do. I think the next step is Doomsday, and I mean that is literally Doomsday is literally the next Marvel film, and I think you've seen it. The entire plot supposedly been leaked. I'm not going to lie. If I've read it, and also kind of like, yeah, that's kind of cool. It sounds kind of cool to see it. And now we've seen the trailer. Did you see the Comic-Con trailer that was never shown, but someone stood at the side and recorded it?
No, I haven't seen that. No.
There's a moment where Reed Richards is going, "Did you do this, Victor? Did you do this?" He looks insane. I'm like, I can't wait. And did you see the Marvel panel where he does the voice?
Yes.
And Deadpool turns up, mate. Fucking great panel. And again, it annoys me because where the fuck was DC really? Like, come on, they were there, but DC, you got to up your game. We need to.
I'd like to think that DC basically sat there and went, "There's no point trying to compete with this at the moment." That I think DC recognised, for today at the very least, the battle's lost. So let's not even try and fight it. Let's let Marvel have this spotlight because you can't top Doomsday.
They will hold back. I mean, we've got Man of Tomorrow coming next year, but they'll hold back until Secret Wars is done.
Yeah.
Because then the reset starts.
Yeah. Marvel has to kind of build from ground up a little bit again.
They've still got to make money. But, right, okay. Because it's 11:45 already.
Oh, blimey.
There is... Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I personally think a lot of people are saying it's the best one since number 2. I'm not going to lie. I think this is... I don't know.
Original number 2, not Andrew Garfield number 2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best film.
I've met plenty of people who like it's, if not their favourite film, their second favourite Spidey film, and I'm like, I love Andrew's Spider-Man and I love the relationship between him and Gwen, but come on, it's not a great film.
Harry, like, because I didn't watch it when it came out. I said this recently. On the video I did where who would you remove Spider-Man wise. Andrew, I didn't really attach myself to him until later. I watched the film. I really did not like, and I don't think people did, the eyes on the suit in the first one.
Do you know what? I'm glad they changed it. I was okay with it for the first one because it really does scream actual homemade suit. Like, I can believe that you made this at home. And then obviously when they change it to the comic accurate suit in the second one, it's like, okay, you've been doing this for a few more years now. You've upgraded. I was okay with it as a one-off to be like, this is his first proper suit. Because that's one thing I never liked about the first Toby movie is that he's got the finished article suit that he designed and made at home on a budget straight out the gate. And I've never, even as a kid, I was like, there is no way you made that at home on your budget.
He's gone from socks and a JD Sports, a sports soccer vest to a fucking like proper quality suit. It's unbelievable. I mean, yeah, and they deal with it in the MCU. All right, Tony makes it, but then his suit, I'm not gonna lie, I think my favourite suit is the one that's in Brand New Day.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, this might be. I don't know if I'll say it's my favourite because Toby is my Spider-Man. I'll always say that, but I think this is the best Spider-Man film because it feels like a combination. It feels like all the years of Spider-Man, and because he has worked with the other two, there's a real feel of. It's a blend of them, not just the suit. Him as a personality, he's seen how other Peters act. He knows like where Peter is at later in life because he's now met the older ones. And I genuinely think this is like the best version of, like you said, Peter Parker and Spider-Man combined. Is this film right here?
And I think a film where tone-wise as well, go straight back to the thing we kicked off with, tone-wise as well, it's the most comic accurate. It is the exact right blend. You know, the Toby movies came out at a time where, like, you know, big blockbuster superhero movies, you know, the only one that had come before really was X-Men, which beat Toby by a year.
Wait, did you say big blockbuster superhero movies?
Great
X-Men?
big. I mean, X-Men's 2000. Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, we got Blade. We got Blade. I forgot about that. I'll go on.
Carry-
The Marvel big blockbuster superhero movies. Come on, Keaton. But
I was going to say,
yeah,
like, please,
yeah,
please give my
Marvel's
fucking boy
yeah
some fucking-
Marvel's version of the big blockbuster superhero movie. But even then, Keaton's Batman's relatively grounded as well. You know, there's not too much bombast in the first Batman movie, admittedly.
You don't need to go.
No, you don't. Batman's a grounded superhero. But yeah,
In a sense, that's probably easier because you can go either way.
yeah,
You can choose your lane. 'Cause
absolutely.
they're not in it. Like this is
100%.
anything in this is real. Like you can have
100%.
that version of the joke.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I think with the Toby movies, like they come out in that, like, you know, the big blockbuster budget superhero movie, as in, you know, all powers, full special effects, everything. That's only been a thing for a hot minute at this point, really, in terms of that modern era at the time, and like finding its feet in a lot of ways. And I think the Toby movies, if anything, do verge a bit too serious sometimes with their tone. Andrew, I think it really stinks of we're only doing this just to keep the license, if I'm being honest. Like the you know, there's nothing wrong in theory with the tone of the Andrew movies, apart from the fact that the writing's just sloppy. This one is, they have had 4 films by this point, plus all the ones that he's featured in as part of the Avengers, to nail this character development, the tone of the universe they're setting, what a Spider-Man movie really needs to be. They've nailed it all in this one. I think it is the most, in every way, comic book accurate Spider-Man movie we've ever had.
For me, if going forward, he is basically going to be marketed potentially as like the leader of the Avengers, which Spider-Man should be.
I think he has been at least once.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's like they've now set a stand of he's ready to start. He's now at the level of like where Iron Man was, like confidence-wise and maturity-wise. There, look at Ash on the telly. He's fucking right.
You say
Right,
maturity
right,
just
right.
as the guy in the cowboy hat appears.
Oh, fucking cock Lesnar over there. That's that out of the way. Summerslam was this weekend.
Speaking of Lesnar,
Speaking of Lesnar, Summerslam. So night one, I had to watch. Again, those always Saturday ones I have to watch when I get home. Night one, great night. I mean, both nights. I'm going to tell you this. Apart from the adverts are still fucking pissing me off. But this
see,
is-
admittedly, if there is a benefit of what I have, which is a rare occasion I can watch it live, I'm usually a day or two behind, and again on media blackout, and I was again this time. I saw night one, majority of night one I watched on Sunday, but even then I didn't see the Lesnar match until Monday, and then I didn't watch night 2 until Tuesday. If there is one benefit that comes of that, is that all of the adverts are edited out.
Fair enough. So, for the second straight year, and this concerns me about the rumour that they're trying to make SummerSlam the new WrestleMania, because WrestleMania's become a bit, basically it's becoming like a product, it's more of a, it's getting sold to the Saudis basically, sort of thing. It's a
So,
money thing.
I've been a believer of this for a while. WrestleMania is not for the smart mark fan. WrestleMania is for the casual fan. SummerSlam is the smart marks WrestleMania.
Because, I mean, second year straight in a row, SummerSlam has by far outdone WrestleMania. If WrestleMania this year is better, night 2 was the one. Night 1, I'm trying to think, was around in there. There was a lot. There was issues.
Yeah, we had again, like, let's put it this way: SummerSlam, the celebs were involved. Really, when were the celebs involved? Little Yachty during Trick's entrance, and then he got to fuck out of there, and then as he should have done. And yeah, you want to talk about the stupid advertising and endorsements? We're gonna. I've got to mention this for night 2. How fucking dare you have the dog crash Chad Gable's moment? How fucking dare you? And you know what I love? Again, benefit of watching this on the repeat. They edited that bit out because they knew they fucked up. I only found out about that after the fact when I saw the clips online of people sharing the live broadcast And even though I got to see it and not have it ruined for myself, how fucking dare you?
This is the same. Remember, this is the same company that cut off Goldberg 20 seconds into his retirement speech.
Yeah, but it was Goldberg's retirement speech. I think I'll forgive him for that.
Still deserves a speech.
Famously not a Goldberg fan over here.
Genuinely, I think, like, I won't spend ages on this, but this Summerslam, like, was it me and Jacob stayed? He fell asleep 5 minutes into Seth and Roman. Bless him. Like, he stayed up for the whole thing.
Oh,
He still also this day. But bear in mind, also at that point is when I was live streaming and me and Parky were having a go at each other. You and your boy brought his little crumblies over to my live streams. Me and Parky were kicking off each other mid their entrances and stuff. So Jacob's off. This, I'm going to sleep.
I mean, to be fair, you say 5 minutes into Seth versus Roman. I don't think they'd actually thrown a punch by that point.
Yeah, but again, the whole I was gutted that Punk and Cody was night one because to me, Punk did it because he was in that Seth and Roman match, like perfect ending to the story. Like,
Yeah,
everything paid off.
And knowing that Brock was retiring, that was always it was either gonna kick off or main event night one. There was no in between. So the second we found out they wasn't kicking off, I'm like, right, well, Punk's not main eventing night one.
Yeah, and
arguably rightly so.
I don't know. So I think that the world title should be the main event. I say that, then
again, if
Hogan Rock.
Again, if there's one
main event,
if there's one thing that can outshine a title, it's a Hell in a Cell match where you are retiring one legend and crowning the next big thing. Like if there's ever something that could outshine the title, fair play.
I personally think their best match was the WrestleMania one.
Yes, correct.
This could have been a lot more, but also Brock. I saw an interview. Have you seen Brock announce his announcement?
Yeah, he basically said after Slam at Mania, I knew I was done.
Yeah,
and there I think there is an element of like that X that he threw up to Paul. I think there is an element of him actually saying, I might be done here, but then he said, no, I've still got a bit more in the tank. Let's finish this program, and I will retire at SummerSlam, like the plan was. But he knew he was done the second he got slammed by Ober, apparently.
And I think like the way he done it, Brock seems like seeing Brock in interviews now. Brock is a completely different person to what you used to see, and I really, really like that.
I like this side of Brock.
Because he's being a lot more open. I think again, this is something you don't understand. Going back to the ego curve, it's becoming a father. And having people proud of you looking up to you. You don't understand the feeling of what that it changes you as a person.
I mean, I do maintain with Brock in that last match, it might not have been as good as his WrestleMania match, but he was wrestling like he knew it was his last match. I mean, obviously he does, harkening back to the last Hell in a Cell match he did with The Undertaker. I think that was the last one Brock did, where he pulls up the ring canvas to slam people on the boards. And of course, yeah, proper harkening back to it, tombstones, Oberfemi. And can we just maintain that Brock doesn't wear knee pads and he jumped and dropped to his knees on exposed floorboards with zero padding? I winced more at that than I have any other move that I've seen. I was genuinely expecting that man's knees to explode like Ryan's back. But
we can go back to the argument if you want. Yeah, you want to go back to the argument? I swear to God, my keys are still in my pocket. I'll get in the car. I'll drive to your house. I will wake your missus up while I beat the fuck out of you with one of my crutches. So,
you brought up ego.
Anyway, so like it's funny you say I did the same thing. Wince, like you're wincing at the guy's knees, not the guy who's having his head slammed into the wood. That's when you know you're running wrestling shows.
That's when you know you're getting old as well. Like I'm 30. My knees hurt just from bending down to plug something in. And I know yours are much better, mate.
It's not. I can't do anything, Kurt. I lean over there and I. Great, so thank you. It's okay. That great. Chad and Penta
could have done with 5 extra minutes if you ask me, but crammed a lot into the time they were given. Fuck the dog.
Fuck the dog. Yeah, great match. The women's matches were great. And really, the Chelsea Green match.
Oh.
Me and Jacob, because everyone was going, she's not going to win it. She's not going to win it. When she went down, I thought that's it, she's out. Someone else is going to win it. But then, like 5 seconds later, when everything's like, I looked at Jacob. Chelsea's still attached to that ladder, and he went, "What do you mean?" I went, "She's winning." He went, "No, I've got it on the clip." And you see, we both cheer. I got told off from upstairs.
I'm so glad they finally given that as well. I hope they don't make it a joke title run as well. Like, because like loads of people for that. Chelsea is so good at being that comedy heel that people forget she can fucking go. Like, if you haven't watched like that 2018 match that she did in Lucha Underground against Penta, go and watch it. Like, that girl can wrestle.
Kurt Angle is all I'm going to say. Comedy heel who went out there and fucking tore the shit out of it. And I think she could be that. And I love her post-match interview. This is dedicated to Michael Hayes. Whether that's a storyline thing, whether like, because there's a lot of like, Unreal, is that scripted on top of the script?
I mean, Unreal is very appropriately named.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, till about a week ago, I believed everything that I saw in there. Such a mark. Great. I mean, I think to me, at the time, I thought EO should have won, but the Becky Lynch thing, and by the way, what they've done with the women's Intercontinental, amazing. Very good. And then, like, with other matches,
I will say with EO, just before we move on from here, I am glad that Liv won, considering they hadn't had her defend it since WrestleMania, and that's on WWE for not actually booking a decent storyline for your actual champion. That's on WWE. So now that what Liv was defending, Liv needed to win this, otherwise her run's a joke. And there's an argument it already is, but
I see Rhea returning as heel.
It's been a minute since we've had Rhea as a heel. Like, it's going to take a lot to make people boo her.
And Chelsea, like, there could be some great storytelling between a heel Rhea
and face Chelsea. Oh, I'd be up for it. But like, I think it's going to be hard for Rhea to be a heel, man. I mean, let's remember, she only turned face because we loved her too much as a heel.
But now she's got to come back and take the belt off of Chelsea Green, the one that everybody wants. And there's the promoter. Clever. You've sold Unreal on now we're getting behind Chelsea. And again, I genuinely, I think they should do something with Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Make them two as a couple, storytelling would be fucking unbelievable.
I mean, let's put it this way. Like, he might be wrestling as Matt Cardona now, but since he came back, we've had Zack Ryder. We haven't seen Matt Cardona yet.
I would love to see a storyline of them two, like a running power couple, against Seth and Becky, for example, or Punk and AJ, if AJ is sticking around. Right. Hang on, is there any other big matches we've...
Obviously, Seth and Roman, the big thing about that is, and I don't want to talk about Seth and Roman too much because I think you need to watch it, but like, they properly end the whole Shield Fallout storyline here. Like, it is over. Like, if these two might wrestle each other again, but the whole... I can't let go of the fact that Seth betrayed me, or, I'll always be number one, you'll always be number two. Like, that is dead now. Like, they've ended it. They've drawn a line under it. And I won't spoil anything other than this match, but the two essentially shake hands at the end of it. Like, this is done. And there's a lot of callbacks there. And even in the video package, they do everything in their power not to show Mox, Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, at any point, apart from the one angle that you can't not, which is the classic shot of Seth hitting Roman with the chair to break the Shield up, because Mox is right next to him when he does it. Any other opportunity they have to not show Mox, they take it. But during this match, they call out Jon Moxley so many times with tributes, with the moves, with, Michael Cole even acknowledges on commentary, a little shout out to Dean Ambrose there. Of course he calls him Dean Ambrose, but...
The Dirty Deeds. They both go to do Dirty Deeds, which is great.
Yeah. I love Seth hitting a wacky line at one point as well. I will never forgive them for calling it the wacky line, but...
It looked like he really thought about it, though. That's the only thing. He really thought about what he
was doing. Okay, you want to talk about someone really thinking about it? I've got to talk about this. I said the celebrities kind of got the hell out of the ring, apart from Little Yachty doing the entrance. I forgot about this. Little Yachty does get involved in the match with Baron Corbin and Trick Williams with, oh my God, you could drive a bus between the gap between Corbin hitting the ropes and Little Yachty hitting him with the cane. Corbin checks about 5 times. Like, are you fucking there yet? Are you there yet? I've got to run. Get there. Get there. I'm just going to lean against the ropes really slowly. Are you there yet? Come on. Are you there? Okay, he's there. Oh, God, didn't see that coming. That was the second most painful thing behind Brock's knees that I saw on SummerSlam. It's one of the most glaring botches I've seen in a while, and I will call it. But I don't like saying botch because let's be honest, like any form of athletic thing, you know, especially something that's as tightly choreographed, like occasionally stuff's going to slip, occasionally stuff's going to not happen on cue. But I'm going to call this a botch because honestly, Little Yachty was not even in the same time zone for that spot.
Completely wrong. Right. There's 2 matches I'm glad we've held back on.
Go on.
One is the Fatal 4-Way for the number 1 contendership.
Which wasn't advertised as much, and I was like a kid on Christmas
Me and Jacob
by the 4th competitor.
Me and Jacob, obviously, I was streaming. Obviously, this is the annoying thing because we was watching it on there, so I'm having to turn my back. So you don't fully see my reaction. But when he come for me and Jacob, I was like, no, it's Gunther. And then when he said that, I'm like, he's had his own. I'm going, it's Kevin Owens. It's Kevin Owens. It's Kevin Owens. Jacob's going, no, no. Yeah, we both went, yes. And that was the first telling off I got that night from upstairs. Of keeping it honest. Absolutely.
KO.
Sammy's face.
Yeah, absolute picture. Like, KO is my favourite wrestler. Like, I love Kevin Owens so much. I was so glad for him to be back.
How did it feel knowing that there's someone on the team that's wrestled him?
Yeah, anyway.
Not me.
You got things in common with each other. Something vertebrae. Anyway, but Kevin Owens is my favourite wrestler. I was so glad for him to be back. It was worst kept secret that he was going to be coming back. If not that night, then soon. But
I didn't think he was going to be back.
I didn't think he'd be
the 4th man.
Yeah, I didn't think he was necessarily going to come back for SummerSlam, but it was a worst kept secret that he was cleared. The only question was when. Also, I will say it is poor Finn Balor. I really want them to finally put an actual push behind this guy because he deserves it. But like,
no offense though, Kevin Owens versus CM Punk.
Yes, I'm there for the promos if nothing else.
So this is what I was saying. Like this is what I said to Jacob. I said I think everybody said I'm gutted for Finn, but I'm glad it's Kevin because like as much as like Finn, like you are fucking phenomenal. And do you know what? I've got a lot more ever since I've seen him do Stephanie's podcast, and because I mean, see how you see his passion. I see a lot more to him that I've ever seen. He's very inverted kind of guy, which is like mad to see and how much he loves and knows the business. Anyway, but Kevin Owens winning that, absolutely unreal. Obviously, the 3rd round in that match was Gunther, who had a match the night before. Nick Aldis. What's the story? Morning Glory.
I just like WWE. You have the money. Do more licensed music. Like, I mean, this is a very well-worn argument. Bin off Death Rebel, please, because when it's the Rumble and someone's entrance music hits, you don't have, oh, it's this person. You have squinting at the screen, looking at the Tron. Oh, it's that person. Right, I can read the name on the screen now. But you don't recognise them by their music anymore. No one has. A few people do, but not many people have, like, recognisable, iconic music. But, like, yeah, Oasis... and Wade Barrett summed it up best on commentary, you know, this is a British legend making his WWE debut being played to the ring by British legends. This is every Brit's dream. So
I'm going to tell you something, and this is one of them things. Like since I've done it, I was like, "Well, you're an idiot. Like you're such a child, Ryan." I sent Nick Aldis a message on Instagram, knowing full well he was never going to see it. But like, and it was since the Chris Van Vliet thing. Again, I've been very behind, always been, because you know, not name dropping. I was there the day that he first came to wrestling training at Dropkicks, and again, in a jealous way, and that's in the message as well. I said in a jealous way, you know, look at this guy and I go, oh fuck, there's all my opportunities gone. Like he walked in to be a wrestler, and like he had a phenomenal career. I've seen him wrestle over here many times. When I saw him in Ring of Honor, in the Vegas. Unbelievable. The guy is brilliant, and he's built to look like a wrestler, and he can back it up, and he's had opportunity after opportunity missed. And if they do not do more with him on the wrestling side of things, I like how they've played it, they're putting him back as a GM, but that guy, I mean, again, there was some ring rust. I clocked it before he said it. He was very blown. I saw it. I was like, he's blown. And I know that feeling because I've never wrestled in front of fucking 65,000 people. But no matter how much training I'd done for the Slam by me, I got in that ring. I was sucked. The first three, you watched me in the first minute, 5 minutes into that minute, I was like, oh God, I can't breathe. Again, I'm a smoker, but also that's on me. But like, no matter what you do, it's a weird thing. Being active in the ring is the only way to get rid of that. You have to do, because but he put on a phenomenal match, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they kind of undersold him a little bit. I get it because Gunther is a full time and what they're building, but I'm like, him tapping, I'm like,
you kind of have to. He's been out of the ring for 3 years, ultimately, and you've set up Gunther as a killer. Like, you know, ultimately, it had to be that case of he's always losing this, but, you know, showing it as Gunther underestimating him. All that being said, though, like, Nick Aldis, I was surprised when I found this out. Like, they present him as like, you know, oh, it's a guy who's so close to retirement, having one last go to say, hey, I finally wrestled in front of WWE. Obviously, he's married to Nikki James, who loads of people remember from 20 years ago.
Did you just call him Nikki James?
No, Mickey James.
He sounded like he said Nikki.
He's married to Mickey James, who obviously people remember from 20 years ago, and she very much is a legend. Yeah, one thing you need to remember is that, like, Mickey was very young when she came into WWE, and Nick is 39. Like, he's not even 40 yet. He turns 40 this year.
So this is something this is playing in my mind about this, because to me, when I first saw, I remember I think Nick was older than me. Are you sure? What are you sure?
He's either just turned or he's about to turn 40. I'm pretty sure he's 39. He has got. It's like, considering the shape he's in that match as well. Like, if you wanted to do more with him, he has got more in the tank.
So what I'm thinking then is that, like, my memory is probably, I mean, we're talking 24 years ago when I first started. Nick must have came in when I'm older than him. I'm older than him, but for me, he was older than me. Like, I've always thought of it.
He does look older. If you were going to ask me, I'd say 45.
Like, he's definitely taller than me. So I always thought he was older than me by a couple of years. Like, so it must have been like, I must have been 17, 18 when he first came in, because he was definitely a fucking full-grown adult when he walked in there. Like, not full-grown adult, but you know what I mean? He walked in as someone that, like I said, looked like an adult and looked like a wrestler.
Ryan claps eyes on him. He's got the William Regal theme in his head. He's a man.
You said that as Ash reappeared on the screen.
Such a man.
I'll give them a, like, again, this is my memory of it, but so I sent him a message, obviously, again, like, in my head, as soon as I sent it, like, you're a fat act, you're going to be such a mark, you just want Nick Aldis, but it was just one of them things, because I saw the Chris Fleet, and I saw how emotional it was, and I was like, you know what, man, you fucking deserve this. Like, I saw Biggie, like, you walked in and looked like the guy who should be walking out of SummerSlam in 2026 against Gunther. The first day I met you. So I just messaged him. I said, hey man, I totally understand you will never see this message, but just in case I wanted to send it. Okay. Just seeing your chat with Chris Van Vliet and how emotional it got you talking about your one shot in a WWE match. You won't remember me, but I was there the day you walked into Dropkicks the first time, and I remember clear as day looking at you and thinking, man, that guy is a real wrestler. From that moment, even through jealousy, I knew you was going to make it, and you've gone beyond that. I hope this weekend is everything you've ever dreamed of, and I with millions of others, will be proud and happy to see you in the ring once again. Keep on doing what you love, man. From Ryan, aka Relic from Dropkicks. Like, You're never going to see it. It's just one of them, like, proud of something. Again, he will never ever remember me. I mean, okay, I'm very fortunate in some sense. Like, do you know Marty Skrull?
Mm-hmm.
So Marty Skrull, obviously, had done quite well. He was part of the Bullet Club with Cody and everything like that. And when I went to Ring of Honor, again, I'd reached out to Marty. We'd known each other. And, Marty was like with me, Ash, Shah, Shah Samuels, Marty. So we were the first class of drop kicks. Marty was the second class. Like part of the second crop that was coming through, because we were still there, but we were all off starting to do more. Do you know what I mean? And being out there. So, but Marty always, whenever I'd seen him in the UK, always showed me loads of, Ryan, how are you, mate? Really great to see you, bro. How's things? Even though he was doing better than me. Come Ring of Honor, this is the villain Marty Skrull, Bullet Club and all that. And I messaged him saying, hey man, I've booked tickets. It's about Ring of Honor. Probably don't know if I'll get a chance to actually see you, but can't wait to see you out there, man. I'm looking forward to this. I've seen how great you are. I'd seen he'd read it. Again, probably getting, I get that. And then I booked the meet and greet with Marty, because there was a chance. I was like, oh, at least I'll get to see him. Hopefully he remembers me. And I remember queuing up, and there's my queue, my queue. There's the ego cut. There's his queue, Cody Rhodes queue, and then a couple of others off the top of my head. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking down, and Marty's talking, and I see him lean out, and he goes,
Spider-Man meme.
I was like, he remembered me. So I come over and I gave him the ticket, and he was like, well, have you put the meet and greet? I was like, because I wanted to get a chance to see him. I'm like, I'm still a mark, I'm still a fan. He, like, again, you might. He said, how do I remember? And I said, he stopped. I ended up getting a Villain Club T-shirt, and I think you've heard me say this before. At this moment, he brought me back with this. He's stopped his queue now to have a catch up with me, which is, these people are all paid and waiting for each other. And that's the moment where Cody clearly sees that I've come behind him. Clearly that me and Marty know each other in some way. And Cody leans over and goes, Marty, who's this? And he goes, this is Relic. He was at trade school before me, the one I've had. And he's like, nice to meet you, man. Shook my hand. And he went, do you want to get a photo with Cody? And I went, nah, man, it's all good.
I'm duty bound at this point to say never happened, mate.
I mean, I've got my picture with Marty. I've got my picture. I can prove that. I've got a picture with, like, stood about 4 foot away from Cody during the actual Ring of Honor. It was a great night, dude. We were an hour and 10 into this, plus the 25 minutes where you were just reminding me how much of a prick you are. I think we should wrap it up. Summerslam, great. Raw, fucking great as well, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Raw was great. Fingers crossed, WWE keep up with this, because it will get me watching again if you're doing good programming.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a lot of week-to-week programming where it felt like they were spinning their wheels for SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm very much on board with this, like the way they're going with everything. Again, Raw was great as well. One thing I will say, and I'm going to get flack for this because he's over, I think we need to scale back on the Danhausen a little bit.
No, because he's what the kids need. While we've got him, he can integrate himself into big story like that. Did you see the live show? Have you been seeing the clips of the live shows with him, Cody, and CM Punk?
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant, because it's, to me, again, like looking at it as a bigger picture promoter side of things, to me, like, you've got these two guys who are warring with each other. What can you do with them on the live shows? Throw a Danhausen in the mix. There's a bit where they're kicking off with each other and he comes running out and just attacks.
Admittedly, do you know what it is? My mileage with Danhausen is I'm such a Joe Hendry mark. I want Joe Hendry to be treated more seriously and have more serious storylines than what he's getting mixing with Danhausen. Like, we're very much getting comedy Joe at the moment, but Joe can do more than that.
Here's the thing. I love Joe Hendry. I really do. But like I've always said about someone like Orange Cassidy, what can you do? How long can that thing carry on? And that's because I believe it will phase out. it will fade. It will fade. And I worry for someone like, because he's put so much work into making that such a great thing that it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna like something. I don't know what they're gonna do. You're right. They need to do more. They need to give him a bit more of a serious role. But at the same time, with everything else going on, Danhausen's so over. Keep him with him. Do you know what I mean? There could be more to this. Right. I don't want to say this has been a pleasure because it fucking hasn't. I've enjoyed having a nerd out, whether it be me and it been with you. Don't forget, guys, this is Talks with Dorks. We have our next show. When you'll see what happens to these pricks then. October 17th, Halloween, and I will be calling it Halloween, the Return of Super Relic. I'm not calling it the stupid name you've come up with because you can fuck your fucking party. October 17th, Basildon Sport and Leisure Club. Get your tickets now. Link will be below. Go do that. Make sure you sign up to our Patreon because Kurt, I hope, has been working hard getting the edit together to show you Slam by me. And I'm intrigued to see it.
Oh, all the angles of the power bomb, every single one.
Is there anything else we need to talk about? Because all the promos, you don't. I'm pretty sure when you recorded an episode, you did all the TFG promos and did all that, added it at the end. And I was like, we've got video, but you haven't got them, have you? Mm-hmm. I'll send them to you. So
Hey, you want to talk about me being a dick?
I didn't realise you didn't have them. You should have them. You should ask for them. That's all you had to do. So that's what happens when you stab your mate in the back. Things don't go to plan. This is Talks and Dogs. Make sure you're following. Make sure you subscribe. I'm Ryan. That's the prick called Kurt. See you later. Prick.